10 o'clock, feeding for the guap.
Hey YouTube, it's your friendly neighborhood natural Lex, or you may know me as Chocolex on YouTube, and I'm back with another YouTube video for you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to be spilling the tea, the real tea, on well, I won't say everything you need to know, but I will be discussing some things that I feel are important when it comes to job hunting after graduation. And really, the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video, they can apply to if you're just looking for a job regardless of whether or not you have graduated. I'm not an expert on this stuff. Everything that I'm going to discuss in this video is mainly based on my experience and the things that I went through when I was looking for a job after I graduated. So that is what sparked the idea for this video. Let me first start off by saying that I just graduated in June. I completed my master's degree in healthcare administration from Georgia State. Yay me. It was an experience, I will say that, but I am glad that it's over. When I moved to Atlanta, I was moving away from my hometown. So I had to quit my job and move. That means that I had to find a job while I was in Atlanta. But little did I know, 2 months after I actually moved to Atlanta, we would be in a whole pandemic. So I had to look for a job while I was in Atlanta. I eventually ended up finding one. I worked there pretty much, I wouldn't say the entire time that I was in the program, but I did work for the majority of the time that I was in school. And then once I finished school, I started to look for a job again because I was looking for something a little bit more long-term, something that would give me more experience, kind of fit within my career goals, professional goals. You know how it is. You get somewhere, you figure out this isn't for me. So the job that I did hold while I was in school, it no longer served its purpose when I graduated, and so I had to find something else. So that being said, I've had to look for jobs twice within the past year and a half. First thing I want to discuss is, if you have not done so already, please get someone to either look over your resume, redo your resume, restructure it, whatever. When I started looking for a job, I was using a resume that was kind of outdated, and the structure of it was not, I'll say it was not conducive to what I was trying to do. Sometimes you might not have any grammatical errors, or you might not have anything wrong with your resume that you can see. Sometimes it just needs to be reorganized, restructured. I have a childhood friend who I've known for like years, who actually works in human resources, and she has her own company in which she specializes in redoing resumes and I believe interview prep, cover letters, things of that nature. I will put her information in this video somewhere. She's the one who redid mine for me, and the turnaround time was super quick, and it was affordable, and all around just a very good experience. I know it sounds like I'm plugging my friend's business, because that is what I'm doing, but I'm just saying, if you're looking for someone who does resumes, I got you. So I'll put it in the description box below as well. If you haven't gotten your resume redone, please make that be the first step. It's not a bad thing. I was one of those people that was like, oh no, I do not want somebody looking at my resume. I feel like they're gonna judge me, like they're gonna be looking at all my stuff and where I worked at. But I had to get over it, because when you're looking for that next step, somebody has to help you out, okay? So sometimes. Next tip is, you want to exhaust all job search engines. So I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, when I was looking for jobs the first go around, all I was on was Indeed. I don't know why Indeed has such a strong chokehold over my life, but that's the only place that I would look for jobs. Then I don't really know how I found out about LinkedIn, but somehow I made it over to LinkedIn. Let me tell y'all something about LinkedIn. First off, before I get into that, this video is not sponsored in no way, shape, or form, okay? But what I will say is this: LinkedIn has all the good stuff. I mean, all the good stuff. Companies that I had never heard of before. If you are not on LinkedIn, please go get you a profile. So I found that once I got on LinkedIn, LinkedIn had a lot of more opportunities than Indeed. And I just like the overall design and setup of LinkedIn better than Indeed. I don't know. That's just me. So yes, when I was looking, I used Indeed, I used LinkedIn, I used like a regular Google search, like just Google searching jobs near me, and Google would bring up different stuff. But I will say that Google will pull its results from other websites. And while I was on LinkedIn, I would change up the search. So I would ask for it to give me jobs that had been posted within the last week. I did not want to see jobs that had been posted 30 days ago. Chances are the older jobs had already been filled. I will also change the city or the location, because it does ask you where you want to look. So I was looking everywhere at the time. I was not trying to stay in a specific place. So I would look for Atlanta, I would look for Greenville, I would look for Charlotte, pretty much all the major cities in the southeast, I guess you could say. And then I would look for remote as well. A lot of organizations have transition, that's what I'm looking for. They have transitioned to permanent work from home, at least for like this next year or the rest of this year, because COVID. So change the location to remote, it will bring up a bunch of stuff that is permanently remote. It will bring up a bunch of stuff that is remote for a specific time frame. Keywords on Indeed and LinkedIn. So I'm going to continue to use healthcare as the example in this video, because that's what I work in and that's what I was looking for. So in case you're wondering why she keeps talking about healthcare, is because it is specific to me, and I don't know what kind of jobs you guys might be looking for. So when I was searching, I would search healthcare, I would search health administration, I would search healthcare administration, I would search health management, I would search healthcare management. Then I would search masters, health administration, masters, healthcare administration, masters, health management, masters, healthcare management. Just rearranging different words just to see if I could pull up something different. I know some of those might sound a little bit redundant, but trust me, it does work. Depending on what field you're going into, rearrange those words, the job searches, because different things will pull up for the search that you are using. Next tidbit that I want to talk about, or put in your ear, whatever. The job search, the time frame for, finding that job for you, it is to be determined. You cannot put a time frame on what you want to do, because it might take longer than expected. So I'll use me as an example. I was graduating in June. I started looking for jobs the previous November. So November 2020, I was already looking for new positions, and I wasn't even going to be done with school until the next June. I didn't start looking like heavy until probably around February, March. So even then, I still had a few months in between the time that I was going to finish my program. But if you are in school, you want to get ahead of yourself. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all, some of these companies, since they have transitioned to permanently working from home or just working from home for the time being, a lot of them are really slow when it comes to communication. A lot of them take some time to get back with you, and there's also an extended process when it comes to the whole screening process. Because for me, when I got hired at the job that I do have now, background check and freaking references and checking all that stuff, it takes some time. So you just have to consider that. Give yourself a few months. When you are looking for jobs that are, I want to say corporate, but I'm only saying that because I'm referring to things that are not food and retail. The only reason that I'm saying that, no shade to food and retail, but when it comes to food and retail, a lot of these companies that are food and retail, they are hiring heavy right now because a lot of people are up and quitting. So their job hire process might be a little bit quicker. If you're trying to go corporate 9 to 5 salary, just know that if you apply to something on Monday, you might not hear back from them for another 3 Mondays. You also have to consider the fact that a lot of people now are job hunting, so they're having to go through a lot of applicants. I know be patient is not something that you want to hear when you are trying to look for a job, because some of us don't have time, you know what I'm saying? I understand that, but just know that this process is not an overnight type of thing. It might take some weeks, it might take some months. Next thing I want to talk about is keywords on resumes. Now, listen, this is something that I was not hip to. Like, I literally just learned of this maybe like a few months ago. So a lot of companies and organizations now, they are using some type of system to screen through resumes. I was wondering why I would get rejection notifications at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, who is in the office at 2 o'clock to let me know that they will not be moving forward with my application? But no, I don't know what the thing is called. It's some type of HR system, and basically the system can like screen through your application and it will know if you have used certain keywords on your resume or not. This is annoying because this means that you may have to kind of tweak your resume a little bit every single time you find another job. Let's say a position is looking for someone who I'm trying to come up with something. Let's see. For their ideal candidate, they are looking for A, B, C, D, and E. If your resume doesn't have A, B, C, D, or E, or some type of variation, it might be a no for you. It was like, oh yeah, we want someone with accounting experience, with finance experience, or something like that, and your resume does not mention accounting or finance anywhere, it might be a no. I'm saying might because it's not always the case, but keywords on the resume. So you want to go and look at the job position, look at the why I can't think of these words. The requirements, look at the requirements that the organization has posted within the job listing and kind of compare that to your resume to see, like, are there similarities, are there differences? Think about it. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to go and get your resume person to like look over it every single time you apply to something. This just means that before you apply, you need to look at your resume and compare it to the job listing and see, like, you know, what can I tweak or what words can I just go ahead and add up in there? You know what I'm saying? Try it out. You might find that it works. You might find that it doesn't. But if you've been getting no, reject, try it out, switch it out a little bit, and kind of tailor your resume to the position that you are applying to. Next up, certifications, classes. Let's talk about it. Some of you guys might not have, I don't want to say higher education, but some of you guys might not have degrees, which is completely fine. Or some of you guys might be like me, you might have a degree, but your experience is not really there because you haven't been working for that long. So you're kind of gonna want to need some other things on your resume to add a little bit of spice. So what you can do is Google certifications, Google some type of classes, see what is out there in your field. So for me, I'm working in healthcare. I didn't really have a lot of healthcare experience. I had some, but not a lot. In my case, I had found out about Lean Six Sigma. I'm not even gonna explain to y'all what Lean Six Sigma is, but it is something that is used within the healthcare industry and even like within business as well. So I had Googled, found some different courses on it. Some technical colleges teach it, some teach it online, but I had found a free one, and I took that little certification course for the free, passed it, added it to my resume. Boom, now I have Lean Six Sigma experience as a skill set on my resume. I don't know what type of certifications or classes or things that your industry might have for you, but please know that there is a lot that is offered through tech schools, through online schools, and all kinds of stuff. LinkedIn Learning is also a great source for learning different things. Check with your local tech schools. A lot of them, they have, transitioned to the online platform. You might be able to find something online. And of course, if it's online, it will be cheaper than in person. You might find something with, I lost my train of thought, but just Google cover letter. Now listen, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I used to be one of those people who did not believe in a cover letter. I was like, not doing it. I'm not applying with no cover letter. Nope. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, when I started applying with my cover letter, that is when I started to get calls back about jobs. Now, I cannot say this with confidence. I don't know if there's a correlation. I don't know if the two go together, but I'm just telling y'all, as soon as I started to attach that cover letter, those emails and those phone calls, they started to happen, okay? The reason why I did this is because, like I said, I really didn't have a lot of healthcare experience. So on my cover letter, I did want to make sure that these employers know, okay, like I'm currently in school obtaining my master's degree. I do have certain skill sets that I am more proficient in than others. Like, just letting them know. Get on Google and just research some cover letter templates. I just found one on Google and tweaked it all the way, okay? Like, made it me. Think about it. If you are having a hard time and you're not applying with a cover letter, just try it out. It is not going to hurt. Just try it out. You need to research the company that you are applying for. This is something that I will be honest with you guys, I didn't do a whole lot of because when I was applying for jobs, I would move like super fast. Like, I had a whole system in my mind of things that I would look for and just go through my entire system, my entire process. So if you are serious and you're like, hey, this is really something that I want to do, especially if you get to the interview, you do want to research the company. And it doesn't mean that you gotta spend your whole day just looking at stuff, but you're going to want to look at how long they have been in business. You're gonna want to look at, of course, what exactly they do, any type of partnerships or acquisitions that have came about with them and other companies. Just go and look up the company real briefly. Jot a few notes down, because when you get to the interview portion and you want to ask questions, then you can go off your notes. Just look them up a little bit, kind of see what they're about. You might find that you don't want to work with them at all. Use your planner. So this is also something that I was terrible at doing. But when you start to apply for these things, write it down so that you can know. Because for me, I would apply for something and then time would go by and I'd be like, dang, it's been a while. So then I would have to go through my emails and see like, okay, when did I submit this application? I was applying to stuff so much where I couldn't keep up with organizations. I couldn't keep up with job titles. And when I did it, it was a whole lot. I was so stuck on like just trying to find a new job that I didn't even care. But don't be like me, write it down. And lastly, y'all might not want to hear this, but I'm gonna tell y'all, looking for a job is a job in itself. If you are actively looking, you cannot just say, okay, well, I'm gonna spend time on my lunch break and try to find something. I'm not gonna say that that won't work, but I will say that you will have better luck if you are doing it constantly. So for me, I mentioned to you guys that I had an entire system and an entire process of what I did when I was looking for a job, right? So I'm gonna give y'all a whole little rundown of my entire system slash process that I did, and y'all might be like, dang, this girl is crazy. And I don't care. So boom, first off, I was checking Indeed and LinkedIn 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. New positions get uploaded like all times of the day. My favorite time would definitely be probably morning and noon, because you would see a whole lot of new stuff on there that wasn't there the day before. Nighttime, I wouldn't always do it at nighttime, but nighttime was just like for extra. It was kind of just like, let me just see. Second, I was checking different cities every single time. So morning, noon, and night, I was checking South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee. So I don't know if I told, well, y'all might not know, I'm from South Carolina. At the time when I was doing my job hunt, I was in Georgia. I was not stuck on staying in one place, so I knew that I could relocate. I am not married, I do not have any kids, so me just up and leaving, I wouldn't say that it's simple, but it would be more simple than someone who has an entire family to consider. That's why my locations were all over the place, because I was like, shoot, if I gotta move for a new job, I don't care. So I was checking all those cities 2 times, sometimes 3 times out the day, and throw in remote as well. So boom, I was doing that. Then I would check the different positions. So for example, boom, we're gonna start in Atlanta. I'm looking for health administration jobs in Atlanta, healthcare administration jobs in Atlanta, healthcare management jobs in Atlanta, master's degree health administration jobs in Atlanta. Switching up my searches every single time. And then after I would look, find stuff, then I'll move on to the next city. Okay, health administration jobs, Charlotte. Healthcare administration jobs, Charlotte, North Carolina. Health management jobs, Charlotte. Master's healthcare administration jobs in Charlotte. Just going down my list of keywords, switching the location. If I was on the clock, because yes, I was looking for jobs on the clock. Let's act like we don't all do it. I wouldn't have time to apply for them right then and there, so I would I forgot what the option is on LinkedIn, but you can save or add it, save it, something like that, where it will put it into like its own category, and then you can go back for later and go ahead and apply. So then if I had time to apply then and there, I would. If I did not, I would have to apply at night. It does get a little bit more specific, but I don't think y'all want to hear all of that. But just know the whole gist of it was I was changing the city, changing the keywords, and I was checking at least twice a day. I was extremely aggressive when it came to this. Extremely aggressive when it came to trying to find something. So that's what I did. You might not be able to find something on your 30-minute lunch break that you have. It might take you a couple of hours when you get off of work to find something. Be sure that if you do find a company that you're interested in, to sign up for their job alerts, and every time something new is uploaded, they will send you an email. I still get emails from different hospitals and stuff that I forgot to go and turn off just because I was like in it so heavy. So yeah, that is also another tidbit. So those are just some tips and suggestions and just things that I think we all need to consider when we are looking for a job. If you are, I wish you the best of luck. Something will come. And be sure to leave any comments or suggestions that you have below. That's all that I have for you guys today, because I am about to run out of memory on my SD card. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow your girl on Instagram and by me Alexis, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
They just won't get closer to me, getting colder to me. You ain't no one to me. They won't fuck me over, my team way too cautious, we too sober to leave at 10 o'clock, feeling for the guap.